What's up? That's not the money, money, money song I thought I was going to play. It was Abba's version. But I got a kick out of it, so I let it ride. So, anyway, happy Monday, April 24th. Uh, you guys, we got great stuff for you today. Kind of talks about the promotions that launched over the weekend on Friday, actually, as well as some CIP updates and other important items that you guys need to be on top of. I've seen in the group chats, it looks like there's some BTN issues going on. And, one of the things before I get started on this is eventually we are going to a one system platform, which is going to be Boost Elevate Web, or you've heard it as Guided Sales Flow, GSF, or you've heard it as DOP. Now, I will say that from what we've heard, once we're down to one system, it is going to relieve a lot of the issues. I think the programming with having two different platforms is causing some of these issues. So once that is down, this should go away. So, I take everything kind of that you hear with a grain of salt on that, but it is supposed to be a lot better once we get down to that one system. So I know how frustrating it is when it goes down. It seems to go down, way too often, but it is a priority. It is in the works. Just kind of wanted to address that before I jump into everything. All right. So with that said, can you guys hear me okay? And can you see my screen?
We've got you loud and clear.
All right. So we're going to go over the network launches, the promo changes, talk a little about these accessory vendors that you guys can sell now, which that is a great news piece. Spoiler alert, no more minimum spend for accessories. So that's huge for BMA. Some CIP best practices and updates, the Guided Sales Flow roadmap, and just a reminder, last chance to register for Summit. Everyone here at DCI, all of your account managers, we will be there, and we'll love to see you. I wanted to start with the Boost priorities right now. So the biggest thing is the CIP program and then M&O execution for that market. But CIP, if you guys have not completed your registration and submitting your documents for that, it's critical, right? You guys need to get that done ASAP, all doors across the country. So this is from Boost directly. This is Boost's deck that they were using for their region call. That is the number one priority out there. Number two is GSF utilization, because as I just mentioned, the old sales portal is going to be going away here at the end of June is when it's scheduled now. It got moved back a little bit. So we have May and June, but still 2 months is going to go fly by in a snap. Third priority, value-added services. Making sure you guys are bundling device protection on every sale, whether it's new or an upgrade. Make sure that's always top of mind. And, of course, international calling as well. For those markets that have international calling customers, make sure you are hammering that point home as well. So, real quickly, on the B5G, Boost 5G launches. So, if you guys are going to Summit, you're going to hear more about this, but it's growing. I mean, it's growing and growing. They're getting more and more markets launched with these Boost 5G eligible phones and rainbow SIMs, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard talks of rainbow SIMs. I know for us locally, we have it in St. Louis. We have some in Central Illinois. As it continues to roll out, we have Indianapolis in there as well. Detroit has 24 doors that just launched as of April 20th. So this is continuing to roll out pretty fast and furious. So they're doing a great job at getting that network built, because what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to have everything on the Boost 5G network, which is Dish's own network. So this launch is continuing. They have about 1,300 doors in 45 markets across the country right now. They're prioritized. So if you're in a market that has it or store that has it, please prioritize those Boost 5G activations whenever possible. One of the things that's a little sticky, right, is there's only select devices that are certified for Boost 5G, like Solero 5G Plus, Samsung Galaxy A23, Moto G 5G, Moto G Stylus 5G, and Motorola Edge Plus. They're still working on iPhones, getting all that stuff eligible for it. And the why is like, why don't we have iPhones immediately on that, right? Well, this is a brand new network, so there's more kind of politics behind the scene to get iPhone to work on a brand new network. than some of these other customers that dealers, manufacturers, other manufacturers out there like Solero, Samsung, Motorola, who are more willing to kind of play ball on all this. But it is all in the works. So right now, if you have it, it's great for those select devices, and they are always working on more devices to come. So again, there's been successes in St. Louis, Kansas City, Central Iowa, North Wisconsin. We're looking at all this stuff, but the speeds on this have been amazing. Like you're looking at 354 megabyte per second downloads, 304 megabyte per second downloads in Kansas City, 262 megabyte per second downloads in Columbus. So a really, really fast, awesome network. So when it comes to you, make sure you guys are pushing it. All right. Let's get into the promo changes. So we have the iPhone 11 $49.99, the Samsung Galaxy A23 free. We saw the 15 free Android devices that are out there with port in. The Moto G 5G. Hold on, let me put my phone on silent. I am blowing up over here. Okay, sorry about that. The Moto G 5G Samsung Galaxy A23 BOGO. And of course, our no port, no problem with our $10, $15, and $20 phones. So, I mean, there's no reason a customer should walk out of your doors. They can get a phone without even a port for $10 or $15 or $20. Awesome deals. If you don't have those Nokias, and I think it's been a big miss when I check at least inventories of the doors I visit, if they have these Nokias. If you don't have them, order them up today, guys. $10 for a customer. It's fantastic with no port at all. Just a great deal. And then we have, of course, our $15 and $25 add-a-lines as well. Our standard pricing for the no ID customers is CIP, obviously, is your customer ID program. Solero 5G is free with a port in, or $59.99. Again, this is for customers without an ID. Galaxy A03 free for ports, or $59.99 new. TCL 20XE free with ports, $59.99 new. Apple iPhone SE Gen 2 eligible port in free, new pricing $199.99. So I know there's been some talk out there of, well, sometimes the customers without IDs now feels like there's aren't good offers for them. Yes, there are, and here they are, right? There are still good offers. It's even better with an ID. And honestly, guys, it's better for your customers if you have a customer that has an ID, because it's more of a legit sale. So the longevity and the chances of them staying with you longer are much higher. Kind of, just like with ACP, right? Those customers are very sticky. If it's a legit customer and they have valid ID, they're going to be with you long term, most likely. If someone's trying to scam you, guess what? They're probably not going to give you a driver's license if they're going to try to scam you, right? And give you all their information. So great prices with ID, and even without it, we still have some awesome offers out there for our customers. So what ended, and again, this was as of April 20th, ended on 4/20, this Moto G Stylus BOGO, Samsung Galaxy A14 5G BOGO, Nokia G100 BOGO, and that golden ticket promotion. Those all expired on 4/20. The add-a-line promotion that started 4/21 through 5/23, so $5 devices. One of the new ones is the Quality One Shock Volt SV55 Moto G Power, Samsung Galaxy A10 and Moto G Stylus. $10 devices, new Moto G Pure, Moto G Play, renewed iPhone 7 32 gigs. That's right, $10 add-a-line, renewed iPhone 7 32 gigs, and renewed iPhone 8 64 gigs. So awesome offers there. Our $15, the new ones is the Samsung A03 and Solero 5G. On the $25 side, we got the Solero 5G 2023 and renewed iPhone 8 Plus, renewed iPhone X, and renewed iPhone SE Gen 2. So just awesome add-a-line offers for you guys out there that just started the 21st of April, and those will continue through May 25th. All right, next, I want to take a quick second to talk about the new merch survey that's launched out there. So what Boost is looking for is to create kind of a best-in-class experience by ensuring every store is properly merchandised. So the packouts that you're going to get now will include a flyer with a QR code. It's for next-gen 4.0 locations only, right? So 4.0 stores. Information collected on the Google form will be your door ID, shipping address, phone number, and advocate information that you can email in and kind of talk about the survey. Make sure you got everything. If you scan the QR code on the flyer, you complete the Google form after completing your merch reset. This is to make sure your store is properly merchandised. Why are we doing this, right? The with them, what's in it for me? Well, you want to make sure you have your proper promos up. So with this, if you're a 4.0 store, you get your pack out, you scan your QR code, you put all your stuff up, and then you submit it via that survey link. Once you do that, your account executive for Boost will receive an immediate email once the survey is completed to review, so they can look at it and make sure, is everything compliant? Do you have anything missing? Stuff like that. But it's a great way to have accountability if you're a store manager or if you're a DM and making sure your stores are compliant. Make sure you guys do this. Don't skip this step, because all it's going to do is help you make sure that you have your silent sales makers, which is what I call like your posters and your price tags and all that stuff up for your customers, that when you're busy and the customer's looking around, you have all your best up-to-date advertising information posted. This is making sure all your silent sales makers are up and ready to go. All right, just a quick heads up, the pack out. So you got a bunch of new posters. I'm not going to go over all these. You'll see how many, and you have the packet on there, but there is a slide here that just kind of shows you everything that was out there. But this should have all been delivered to all your doors. This should have been delivered on 4/20. So you should have these. If you don't see your new panels up, your new information up, then check your back rooms, because you should have received them. If not, reach out to your Boost AE and they can get you any pieces that are still missing. Okay. One of the really good news pieces of this call is the accessory vendor updater focus, right? So only a week left for everyone to be registered. So hopefully you guys are all registered. If you're on this call and you don't know what I'm talking about registering with On-the-Go, C2 Wireless, and VoiceCom, you guys need to get registered for this ASAP. And I think we're pretty good. I haven't seen any reports of any stragglers out there, but if not, make sure you're registered, because you have less than a week till the deadline. So the benefit here is there's an increased variety of accessories for high, mid, and value tier. I know I've heard lots of dealers grumble about, hey, On-the-Go doesn't have the selection I need. And there's always that required spend, right? So Boost heard it. They took the feedback. They said, okay, we're going to get you multiple vendors. So we got On-the-Go now, C2 Wireless, and VoiceCom. They look at On-the-Go kind of as the entry level for accessories. C2 Wireless is a mid-tier, and VoiceCom is premier. Now, the ask is, these are the only 3 vendors you guys go through, right? And Boost is going to be looking at that to make sure you don't have any like aftermarket vendors that you guys are buying and putting on your shelves. They want you to go, so they're giving you 3 choices for your accessory vendors. And the good news piece is there's no minimum spend. It used to be X amount of dollars per box for everything you guys sold. And there was big risks. If you didn't hit it, your store could lose residuals, for a quarter. So the good news is that's gone away, and we have more vendors. So make sure you guys are all registered. And if you haven't checked out these other vendors besides On-the-Go, it's C2 Wireless and VoiceCom. Any questions on this accessory vendor piece? No questions. All right. CIP. So that's the customer ID verification program. And I've gotten a lot of calls from dealers too, like, why do I have to fill all this information out if I'm, already registered with a Boost? I've already sent DCI my information, right? Understand, I hear you. But what it is since we're now using customer's driver's license, there's an extra validation step we have to take. And that is doing this CIP validation. So that's what's crucial. If you guys haven't completed, you knock it out already. Now, when you do this, and some best practices as far as it goes to entering your customer information, if you have any customers that have 2 first names, for example, only use the first part of their name. So if the customer's name is Mary Jane Smith, only enter Mary, right? Don't do Mary Jane Smith. And that's that's funny that this deck is from Boost, right? It was on 4/20 and they put the name as Mary Jane Smith. I just kind of caught that as this read through. But anyway, so just enter Mary for the first name, Smith for the second name. Don't use any middle initials on there. Customers with 2 last names, enter both last names using a hyphen. So if the name's like Eugenio Gonzalez Derbez, the last name would be Gonzalez-Derbez, right? So 2 first names, just use the first, use the last, don't use any middle initials. 2 last names, use them both, just put a hyphen between it. And then you always want to use a calendar when selecting the date of birth. So don't just type it in, use the actual calendar attachment so there's no errors in kind of the syntax, right? So like 2 digits, 4 digits. Make sure you guys are doing that. Lastly, always enter last for a social security number if available. If the customer cannot provide a social security number, leave that field blank. So like entering 4 zeros or 11111 will cause a mismatch. So if they don't have a social security number, do not enter anything. Let me repeat that point again to make sure you guys didn't miss it. If you don't, customer doesn't have their social security number, they don't have one, don't put anything fake in there. Don't put a 1111 or anything like that in there. Just leave it blank and click on next. If the customer's using a passport, always enter the 9-digit identification number. That's the passport book number. It's in the upper right-hand corner of the second page for everyone's passport who has that. Use their current address first. If that doesn't work, use the address on the ID. If that still doesn't work, enter the address where the customer has lived the longest for the past 3 years. There's a note here. If the address needs to be corrected, it must match U.S. Postal Service, what they have in file with USPS. If the city is broken into 2 names, like let's say New York, include a space between the names, right? Obviously. Important note here, slow down, be sure to enter the information correctly and repeat the customer's information entered back to them to ensure accuracy. So just some best practices to make sure that that goes smooth. A bonus tip for the customer's email, right? If the customer does not want to or cannot verify the ID, and they came into the store with a friend or family member that has Boost, you can always offer add-a-line for preferred pricing because they're going to get that price in your add-a-lines. So they don't want to give it to you, but maybe someone in their family has Boost, you can pivot to an add-a-line opportunity. Very important as well, the email address must be activated for 31 days. Why is this important? Well, you can't just create a fake email address, and you can't create one on the fly. This has to be a valid email address for your customer. Now, everyone, in 2023 should have an email address because we all have phones, right? And if they use an Android or they use an iPhone, there is an email address attached to those phones. So you need to make sure you have a valid email address on there. It has to be activated for at least 31 days. Do not use a fake or newly created email because then you're going to get denied, right? It's not going to be that pricing. And again, as I just mentioned, if they don't know one, if they have their old phone with them, on a customer's phone, head over to the device respective's app store and click on the profile icon, and that is where you'll find their email. Any questions on CIP? Going once? Going twice, going 3 times, moving on. Okay, perfect. They do have some good videos on pitching CIP. I'm not going to go through these on today's call, but if you guys are look at this week's buzz on your sales portal, they do have the Boost Network News where it gives you kind of the whole pitch for CIP. Now, to me, it's simple. I'm just like I do the assumption close and adding device protection to a customer's phone. At a set point, I'm like, can I see your ID, right? And just start asking for their ID, just like you're a postpaid store. We kind of want to get into that mentality because Boost Infinite and that stuff's kind of around the corners. And if you're a 4.0 store, it's probably going to be at your doors. Just a little hint, a little roadmap of what could be in the future. Not guaranteeing it, just saying, not saying. Get in the habit of using the ID. It's going to be very beneficial to your business for discounts on your devices and the possible future of your store. So now a little bit about the whys. This is where customers are saying, why do I have to do this, Adam? Why, I've already done all this stuff with you guys. Why am I asking for this again? Well, the retailer certification is required in accordance to the privacy rules out there. So the email would have been sent from Elevate Compliance at B2B Soft, and it has that secure link that allows you to upload your information into the portal. If you don't get this done, B2B Soft reserves the right to turn off service to ePay. So super, super important. If you guys don't have this done, that's why it was the #1 priority for Boost. You guys get this done. Your store is going to provide the company incorporation certificate, the W-9, foreign entity registration if needed, driver's license, state ID for all owners, and utility bill if the residential address is not listed on the ID. All right, GSF roadmap. So guided sales flow, right? I just told you guys at the start of this call, hey, I know the system's down right now, right? Super frustrating. But the problems are going to get better once we get to one system, because pulling the text teams between two servers and having two sets of codes is causing some of the disruptions. It was the most recent update I've heard on this, right? But they're still working to get a lot of stuff done here. So what's targeted in the next, let's say 80 days, because this actually update was from April 10th, is the portal alerts will be displayed on GSF. ACP is coming to GSF. A Spanish language option is coming as well. New value-added services, International Connect, North America Connect is going to be coming. Stockable data plans, DOP billing itemization, a change email address option will be there. Solero 5G, which currently isn't in there, will be added. DOP refund capabilities, and TSA to GSF document storage solutions. So, you know, it continues to get better and better. It's not where we want it to be today, but it will continue to get better. And if you think about where we were, you know, even a year ago, there's been a lot of enhancements on there. We can do BOGOs, we can do change plans right now. So they have made a lot of upgrades to it, and there's a lot of stuff still kind of on the table. So I just want to give you a roadmap of stuff that is being worked on currently as we speak that should be done in the next 80 days. Marketing wise, Boost Mobile spent a lot of money for the double play campaigns, and some of these you guys have to opt into. But just want to tell you that the marketing campaigns, especially social media advertising, is very effective. If you look at kind of the overall impressions of the Q1 double play campaign that Boost rolled out, there was 314 million impressions. Of that, there were 2.4 million unique clicks. Total calls, 52.4 thousand calls, 44.4 thousand store visits, 87.4 total directions to stores. So if you guys get a chance to opt into future double play opportunities, the social media advertising, I mean, that to me, that's the way to win in today's day and age. So make sure you guys are all over that. The period for this information I'm giving you ran from February 13th to April 10th. All right, next I want to move on to kind of top selling days. So this is where we can kind of plan for the future. What are going to be our big days coming up? Well, one of the top days of Q2 is actually going to be this Friday. This Friday and Saturday is going to be another government payday. So when you think through staffing, the 28th is going to be a pay date, which is this Friday, and then the 29th is going to be is statistically very busy as well. And then that Monday after, the first Monday in May, so Sunday isn't super busy, right? But that first Monday in May, also a top 10 day historically of the entire quarter. So if you're online, if you're looking at my screen right now, maybe pull out your phone, take a quick picture of this slide. It's a great way to help you plan for additional staffing and what's going to be our busiest days. So we don't have any trifecta days that has like 3 double plays in this quarter, which means bi-monthly SSI payments, but it's going to be a very, very busy month. And when you know, April's always historically pretty tough, right? And then we kind of rebound in May and then really pick back up in June. So this is a great way when you're thinking through staffing for your stores, if you need extra people or having events. Like you could, if you don't have tons of staff, have events, put your tents out on all these days, right? So the next one's 28th, 29th of April, 1st of May, 3rd of May. So we have in the next, 10 days, 4 of the top 20 days of the quarter are in our next 10 days, 28th, 29th of April, 1st and 3rd of May. Make sure you guys are staffing efficiently. When you get to June, you got the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, all as a top 10 days. So just an awesome thing to kind of think about. And then you can also think about like holidays. If you want to do other stuff to promote to your base. What's coming up? Mother's Day on May 14th. Memorial Day, May 29th. Father's Day, June 18th. So those holidays, that can affect your in-store traffic. And if you want to do something on social media to promote it, to drive those events, great time to think about it now and plan for the next couple of months. Lastly, I mentioned the summit. The summit is May 10th through May 12th in Orlando, Florida. If you're on the screen here, it's going to be beautiful. I mean, this place looks so sweet. So I hope to see you guys there. I just want to give you one last kind of reminder. If you want to go to Summit, you can still register. We're in the last few days, so if you want to do it, you want to get registered now, reach out to your DCI account manager and we can help you register if you've not done so already. But man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I know I'm going to have a lot of questions, but it's, we went to the summit for the first time last year with Dish. If you guys were there, if not, I'll share a little personal experience. It was great because you get that peek behind the curtain. You get to see what's the roadmap. What does Boost have planned for the years? Any of those questions you have. Obviously, we have system issues questions, right? Like, what are their plans to fix that? What are their plans to resolve it? What's getting better? What is our future to come? What's the state of the business to come the next year? And they also gave special kind of advantages to people who go. Like last year, it was like if you went to Summit, you got a big discount on a remodel for your store if you needed to remodel. If you weren't there, you didn't get that offered. So they always have kind of some special offers in there as well. Again, all of us from DCI will be there. The entire Boost leadership team is going to be there. So hope to see you there. If you want to register, kind of the last ditch effort to reach out to you and say, hey, now's the time. So anyway, guys, got a couple minutes left, so I will open up. Are there any questions on anything I have covered today? Because that is all I got. All right, not seeing any questions. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Have an amazing week. Happy selling, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Thank you so much.